What have we got here? Oh boy. Well, hopefully, I was going to say hopefully no one was hurt in that accident, but I think quite clearly that's a lot of damage. So let's say hopefully no one was killed in that accident. I was in an accident once where I was a passenger. The guy who was driving fell asleep. We were going about 45 miles per hour, something like that, and we just hit this bank of parked cars dead on, and didn't have seat belts in those days. I went through the windshield with my head and then back through it again as the car came to a stop, you know, kind of thing. So you could say I went through the windshield twice, and pretty serious. I almost died. I broke 2 arteries in my head, and I lost over half the blood in my body very quickly. It was just pumping out, you know. And he was no help because he was in shock, and I dragged him out of the car, and he was kind of jackknifed up, sort of. And that time of day, you know, no one has cell phones in those days, so they hadn't been invented yet. So I had to knock on the door of this lady's house at 4 in the morning, and she came to the door and she just screamed, because I guess I was a sight. When I looked down, my clothes were completely red, like everything I could see was soaked in blood. And the poor lady, well, she was so helpful and so kind. She said, come on in, I'll phone the ambulance, you know, sit down. And I said, no, I'm not going to come in. My goodness, I'm going to get blood all over everything. But she says, no, that's the least of your worries. So anyway, I went in. It was kind of like a sun porch. She called the ambulance. Cops got there first. And I guess my right ear was also pretty much off. It was only hanging down on the side of my neck by a piece of skin. And the cop, his stomach was turning. And I could see him kind of go pale and a little green. And he says, I don't know how you're being so calm. And I said, it's called survival. If I wasn't calm, I'd be in a lot worse shape. So yeah, I got to the hospital just in time. The surgeon told me that another 5 minutes at the very outside and I would have bled to death. I was fortunate he was there at the time in the hospital, because I guess he was a world famous surgeon. And I remember when he was stitching me up, I could hear him saying to his assistant, okay, we're going to join this nerve, now that nerve. And I thought, how the hell can you join a nerve ending? My God. But he did, and absolutely no paralysis. They said that under normal circumstances, I would have permanent paralysis of the facial muscles on my right side, but nothing. So that was pretty cool. So speaking of health and well-being, I decided to take up running again. I used to do a lot. I used to be a regular runner, cyclist, cross-country skier, that sort of thing. All my life I've done something to keep very fit, but in the last quite a long time I haven't. So I'm starting a little program to get back into running. Just walk, jog, that type of thing for the first week, which was what I just completed. just, you know, for 3 kilometers or so, alternating, you know, a minute or so of walking and a minute or 2 of running. And that way I build it slowly, and it'll keep me away from injury, hopefully. You know, the muscles adapt to running quicker than the bones and tendons and ligaments, so that's why it's important to go slow and resist the urge to think, "Yeah, I can go a little faster or a little longer." And it's best not to for the first few weeks or a couple weeks, and then just gradually increase it. That way the bones will densify and ligaments and tendons will get stronger. You know, I'm 66 now, so I mean, if I don't do this now, if I continue to let myself slide, well, you know, it's going to affect me a lot in the next 10 years. I don't want to be that guy. I want to go into my 70s and 80s with some energy, so I can still ride my motorcycle and do things, enjoy life. This is a world of action. Thoughts and talk don't mean much, so I figure that's the right action to take. I'll keep you posted on how that goes. Maybe if you're doing the same or something similar, maybe comment. Tell me about it. Tell me what you're doing. And there's the accident scene again. We're just coming back home now.